Hey stalkers, I love you. We all know that comic book nerds have their preference over their favorite universe, whether it's DC or whether it's Marvel. And, well, growing up, I didn't really have a preference. I just kind of watched the shows and the movies and just kind of enjoyed them like you're supposed to. And I never really got into the whole this one or that one. But it wasn't until the Avengers movie started coming out and getting advertised back in like 2011 that I realized I'm actually more of a Marvel person. I mean, growing up, I've never really been that much of a fan of the Superman series. I don't think I've ever really watched any of the movies. I don't think I watched any of the cartoons of Superman, other than maybe a few episodes here and there. The only thing Superman related that ever really interested me was Smallville, but I never even ended up getting around to watching that. At least not yet. I might do it someday, but we'll see. Essentially, growing up, the only DC superhero that I ever really kind of liked and got into was Batman, but a lot of the newer stuff, I can't get into it. I'm not really that big a fan of it. Like, the older stuff, the older movies were great. I loved watching those. I loved watching the cartoons, but the newer stuff, yeah. Now when it comes to the Marvel side of things, as far as I can remember, the only one that I really watched when I was a kid was Spider-Man, and I really enjoyed watching Spider-Man. I loved Spider-Man, the cartoons. I loved watching the movies when they came out with, what's-his-face, the original series. But when the whole Avengers series and all the movies that led up to it started coming out, I started realizing how much of a fan of Marvel I was, because I just absolutely loved the movies, and then it made me fall for all the characters. So I started watching Iron Man because it looked like a good movie, and now I love Iron Man. I started watching the Hulk movies, and although I'm not as big of a fan of Hulk, I still find the movies well done. More so the second one rather than the first one, but I still do enjoy the first one every once in a while. I had never really known much about Thor other than being the Greek god Thor, and also my cat. But watching the new movies has made me like that character as well. And then for the longest time I was like, Captain America, he's stupid. And then I finally gave in and decided to watch the first movie, and I actually really enjoyed it. So now I pretty much am down with all the Avengers. But my favorite, I have to say, is going to be Hawkeye, because Jeremy Renner is attractive as fuck. Hi. Plus he's an archer, so it's pretty cool. And I've got to say, Marvel is doing an amazing job at mixing their film and television aspects together, and they're blending them like amazingly with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers movies. Because if you don't watch the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, but you've seen all the movies, or even if you haven't seen all the movies, when Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier came out, basically that led to, in the end of that movie, the S.H.I.E.L.D. basically ended up falling and S.H.I.E.L.D. was no more. But at the same time, that movie that came out, the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on TV, and they did an amazing job at making S.H.I.E.L.D. fall in the show the week after the movie happened. So essentially, their TV and their movie universe are all in one, which is phenomenal because it takes a lot of work to do that. And I just love how it flowed so seamlessly. And even this week, on the newest episode of S.H.I.E.L.D., they basically had the ending of the last few seconds of the show lead into the movie that came out today. So, like, it's just crazy. Like, I love how they're able to do that, and they do it so well. Like, I'm looking so forward to going to see Avengers Age of Ultron, and then watching next week's episode. It's going to be amazing, I think. So, I'm super excited about that. However, recently, I'm not going to lie, I've started becoming a bit more of a DC fan with their television series, because I absolutely love what they're doing with Arrow and The Flash. I cannot get over it. Those are two of my favorite shows right now, and it's making me fall for DC a little bit. So who knows, maybe in the future I will be a DC fan as well. But for now I'm still just generally a Marvel fan. Sorry guys, I don't care if you hate on me for liking Marvel over DC, because I'm not going to hate on you for liking DC over Marvel. So that's all for today's video guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my opinions on DC versus Marvel. And don't forget to comment down below with what your universe fandom is, and perhaps even which your favorite superhero is in that universe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click the little subscribe button, and share the video to your friends, your family, and every stranger you meet on the street. Don't forget to check out last week's video. You can click the button right here. And don't forget to check out next week's video, where you can click the button right here. I'm super excited for next week's video because I had a bunch of people fill out a little survey for me. So if you didn't fill that out, I will post a link down below and you can go fill it out, because the survey ends on Tuesday, and I'm going to collect all the data and do a fun little video on it. So stay tuned for that, because I feel like it will be enjoyable. Sports Quiz Twitter! Hey, check out my melons.